We are going to make a book. You have already decorated the inside of a cereal box cover. The first thing you need to do is make sure your name is on it in pencil, and it is not too huge or too big. It's just very small and non-discreet. You are going to be using a bone folder. Yes, this is an actual bone. And you open it up. And you are going to fold your cardboard in half. And you are going to use the bone folder to score your book. That's what this tool is used for, to fold. That's why it's called a bone folder. So back and forth until you have a perfect crease. Next, you're going to count out 6 sheets of white paper. 6. And if you were to fold all of these together, you would not get a perfect fold. What you need to do is fold them all each individually. So I'm going to take one and fold it using my bone folder. You're going to notice a difference in your creases. They're going to be sharp and perfect. Now, bone folders come in many different shapes and sizes. I have quite a few because I've made quite a few books. This is the most common size. You need to handle these with care and respect because they aren't cheap, and we want to be able to use them for a long, long time here in our classroom. So I'm just using the edge of the bone folder. You could use this edge too after you're done, but I hold it and I swipe it over. 2 more. This is just a piece of computer paper cut in half. And the last one. You don't have to use a bone folder, but I think they make such a difference, and it's good to learn about new tools. Now I'm going to take all 6 sheets and layer them right inside each other. Just like a magazine. Here we are. So this is the inside of my book. I'm going to place this right inside the middle of the book, and I'm going to try to center it so that I see a little bit of cardboard on all of the sides. I'm going to use a paper clip or a little ring here so that nothing moves. So I have a nice border, and you can use a paper clip, or what are these called? Binder clips, a binder clip to hold it all together. The next tool you're going to be using is my Crop-A-Dial, and this is a heavy duty hole punch. Alright, so again, you want to handle this with respect and care. These little orange knobs keep it steady on the table. I am using the 1/8 hole punch, so we can change it to the 3/16, but I have it at the 1/8, and I'm going to put 3 holes here in my book, 1 in the center, 1 between the middle hole and the end, so about right here. You can put little dots on if you want, that's easier. And then one between the middle hole and the end. I kind of test it to line it up, and then I punch it. There's my second hole, and then finally my third one. Line it up. As you can, I'll do this sideways so you can see it. See? And you can just push it down slightly. Punch it. And there are my 3 holes. So the Crop-A-Dile works, see it coming out? And then you push it all the way through. And it pushes all of your holes onto your table, so make sure you take those and you throw them away. So that's using the Crop-A-Dile. So far we've used a bone folder, we've used the Crop-A-Dile, and as soon as you're finished with those, set those aside so others can use them. All of my holes are completely lined up because I used my paper clips and my binder clips to hold everything together. Now you need to pick a yarn that's going to match, and I pulled out a few ones to kind of see which is going to look best. And I like the yellow. I think it does a good job contrasting. So I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3 lengths. Got that up there so someone else can use it. I'm going to start on the colored side of my book and put my yarn through. I'm going to pull it until I have a tail that I know that I'm going to be able to tie a knot with. So I know I can tie a knot with that length. So I'm going to leave that. I usually hold it with my fingers behind. And you're going to take your string and put it through the bottom hole. I'm going to have to cut this so it's nice and sharp and able to go through the hole. As soon as you feel it, grab it and pull it through. And by holding my tail, I'm going to pull it so it's nice and tight. Now I'm going to flip the book over. I have a tail, I have the really long side. This is where it gets a little trickier, and if you want to use a yarn needle, might be the easiest way to go. Holding everything tight, tail tight, the stitch is tight back here. I'm going to go through the middle again. I have my first stitch, front and back. Now I'm going to go through the empty hole, pull that all the way through. That's my second stitch. And now on the back you can see I'm missing the stitch from this hole to this hole. I do not go through the middle. I do not go through the middle. Instead, I put the yarn underneath the first stitch on the back. So I pull it under, take my needle off. Another thing you can do is you can wrap tape around the end. So if you're having trouble threading it through, just take a little tape and do it really, really tight. And you can form your point that way. So now that my yarn is going under the other stitch, I pull them tight in the opposite direction. See, that way is not opposite, they're not crossing over. The opposite direction. Tie a knot like you would for your shoe. And you can either do a bow or a double knot. I'm going to make my bow real small. Or again, you can do a double knot and leave the tails. Take off your binder clip or your paper clips. Fold your book. And there you have it. Oops, it's upside down. There you have it. Up. And now all of your pages are attached to the inside of your book, ready for you to draw in and write in and do all sorts of other activities that we're going to be working on. If you have questions, replay the video, pause it, reverse it, watch it again until you have a signature stitch book.